Item 2 is the board meetings of the regular meeting. Item 2.1 is the approval of the agenda. But before we do that, just a few announcements. At your place, you should have agenda item 11.3, which is full-time employment. Probationary new. This item was submitted from the board book. However, it is on the agenda, and we'll be voting on this item in an open session. Also, as noted in the board update, you'll notice a slightly new board agenda. There's more details of specific agenda items. This step is moved to increase transparency related to all the board actions. Also, the administration is working on a new agenda item and a page numbering system for ease, involving sometimes can be confusing with all of the paperwork that we have. I'll also hold the following agenda items for closed session. If you can mark those, 11.1.3, which is a separation agreement, 11.3.1, which is full-time employment, and all of agenda item under 11.6, which will be the staff benefits. I'll also request a closed meeting under the Illinois Statutes 5 ILCS 120, Section 2C1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body, and Section 2C2, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives. And we expect that there will be action after the closed meeting. So with all that said, I'll look for approval of the agenda. So moved. Any comments, questions?
Yeah, and I know there's been talk about moving to a more detailed kind of agenda, which is which is fine. I think that's a good idea. But I'm not so sure we hit the mark or got too close to it on this agenda. If you look at I guess maybe agenda 2.2. Under 2.2, you have a 2.2.1 and a 2.2.2. You know, if you look under agenda item 1.4, there's a 1.4.1, 1.4.2. And if you look on the next page, if you look at agenda item, well, I'll choose 11. 11.3 and it's A, B, C, D, whatever. That there was absolutely no reference in the board packet to an agenda item 11.3 A, B, C, D. They're all the 11.3.1, 11.3.2, 11.3.8 that you're voting on. So there's no connection between the actual what's on the agenda with the way the board book is. I don't know how.
Derek, do you want to respond to that?
Sure, because of the new agenda style, we're going to change the whole numbering and agenda item section so that we can more do a crosswalk between the agenda items and what the board will actually be voting on.
And I understand that, but if you look, for example, agenda item say 11.3.8. If you looked at that in the book, we're actually approving of stuff under 11.3.8. However, there's no reference in the agenda for 11.3.8. There's a 11B. There's no connection there for what we're going to actually be approving in the board book.
Right, and
they don't mesh.
Right, so that's a result of adding these new items to the agenda, the more details. So that's why we put in the board update that administration will be working to address that.
And again, I understand that, but for tonight's meeting, you're going to ask me to vote on items A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and there's nothing in the board book that says any reference to A, B, C, D, E, F. They're all agenda items.
Yep, so you're going to ask 11.3, and it's going to be all of A through E.
Correct.
Okay. And really, we could have put 11.3.8 is, I think I was talking about is D, 11.3.8D.
Correct.
Well, when you go to pull one out, the agenda items in the board packet are identified differently than they're identified on the agenda.
But I think what Derek's saying is that's being addressed and will be put in the next
Well,
board meeting.
that would be good, it'd been nice, if it would have been done for this
It
one.
would have been.
Well, he's got a lot on his plate.
That's a lot of this place.
All right, someone wants to pull, you got the message.
Julie knows.
If you want to, someone wants to pull 11 point, something under 11.3, let me know.
But you would use the same system when you, as you did before, you'd say I want to hold 11.3A.
Well, but why would we mix that on the same agenda? We have 11.2.1, 11.2.2, and then later in the agenda, we switch to A, B's, C's, and D's. Why would we do it two different ways on the same agenda? It doesn't make sense.
Trustee Oilschlager is correct, so we'll make that correction.
Anything else, any other comments on the approval bid minutes for the agenda? Roll call.
Mr. Condenar? Ms. Paul? Aye. Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Dr. Kerrigan?
Aye.
Ms. Kashgarian? Dr. Griffin?
Aye.
Ms. Holland? Aye. Mrs. Oldfire?
Aye.
Item 2.2 is the approval of the minutes. 2.2.1, regular meeting of March 15th, 2016. 2.2.2 is the closed meeting of March 15th, 2016. I'll entertain a motion for those two. Is there a second? Comments, questions?
Just a correction on 2.2.1, page 3. The first bullet there, it said trustees
Hang on,
Howland.
let us catch up with you. Where at? What?
Page 3, under 2.2.1. The first bullet, it says trustees Howland and Oilschlager attended the Illinois Community College Trustees Association meetings in March. I attended, trustee Howland did not attend.
Okay. All right, accept that. Make a motion. Accept it. Trustee Holland? Accept that motion?
I'll
Okay.
amend the motion.
Okay, Rich, or Dr. Kerrigan?
Yes.
All right, anything else? Roll call.
Mr. Condenar? Ms. Paul? Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Dr. Kerrigan?
Aye.
Ms. Kashgarian? Dr. Griffin?
Aye.
Ms. Holland? Mrs. Oldfire?
Aye.